Now it's time for From the Cast, always an informative slice from the Drift podcast. This time, John welcomes back our friend, Dr. Greg Skomal, to share why he loves what he does and why he does it.
Tell me what got you interested in this business. I mean, you were growing up right around the Jaws years, so I would imagine watching that movie as a child, you were probably anybody else would say it's the last job I'd want to get into. But tell me about that.
Yeah, you mentioned Jaws. I did grow up in the 70s. I was a young teenager when Jaws came out. I saw Jaws in a movie theater. And for me, it was kind of an inspirational film. I had been drawn to the ocean, to fish in general. I thought sharks were really cool. I knew at a pretty early age that science would be something I'd want to go into. I saw the movie Jaws. I saw this character, Matt Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, and I said, if I could wish for a job, that would be it. You know, studying big sharks, white sharks, would be the coolest job in the world. And you know what? I little elbow grease and a lot of luck. I get to do that today. So I'm pitching myself every day.
Take me quick through that elbow grease and luck. What does it take to get to doing what you do? I mean, you're one of the first to tag a great white, correct?
Yeah, certainly among the first, the only one really to be tagging with more of the sophisticated technology we're using today.
So let's talk about the tagging of the shark. Now you call it the white shark. Just for those who don't know, so this is the great white thing, right? What's a great white and what's a white shark? And is there a difference, or is great white just a buzz? Tell me about that.
Now, the great white shark is the name that's most commonly used by the general public and the media. What scientists decided to do a whole bunch of years ago is they dropped the word great, and now it's just called the white shark, but it's the same species.
And they are protected species, correct? The white shark is protected.
When we look at white sharks, we're really looking at a top predator. And when you look at the ocean ecosystem in general, part of the ocean ecosystem is keeping it in balance, and that's what top predators do. So when I view white sharks, when I view other species of sharks, we really need our top predators in order to keep that ecosystem balanced. You know, through research, we're trying to identify those areas where people might be more at risk than other areas. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of that. You know, I advise people, don't go out over your waist, because if you get into 6 or 8 feet of water, there could be a white shark hunting a seal very close to shore there. Right. You know, so it will have to come with behavioral modification.
What doesn't help is every piece of, the movies and the media and the Shark Weeks and everything else, while it's great television, it sort of sends the other message. You know, it doesn't send look how very few incidents there are. It says, everybody out of the water, that kind of thing. So, but very good point there. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Let's face it, Hollywood and even prominent newspapers have figured out that sharks sell.
Would you separate some fact from fiction in your view with sort of the myths around the great white or the white shark?
Yeah, I think most of the myths about sharks, and white sharks in particular, come from the movie Jaws, right? They don't get 25 feet long. They don't jump on boats and try to sink them. Yeah. They're not vindictive and vengeful.
All right. So I guess what we learned from this is, A, white sharks are pretty darn cool. And B, don't go swimming near seals if you're on Cape Cod in the summer, right? Trying to stay away from the seals. Certainly don't go out on a wakeboard or something around seals that could get you into some trouble. And that Greg Skomal's got a love for sharks, man. Man, it started very young.
Up pretty good there.
Remember to follow the Drift Podcast at driftsociably.com and on our social platforms at Drift Sociably and where all fine podcasts are found.